let's jump into it. We got a draft already ready to rock and roll here. We are not wasting any time.
No.
These teams, it's been a long day here. There's been a lot of Dota, and we're going to get Group A figured out here, Trent. Na'Vi already starting down in the lower bracket. Liquid already starting in the upper bracket, and these are the two teams left, my friend.
Yeah, and so it looks like it's going to be Newbee with the first pick overall, and some of their favorites out of the pool.
Oh, jeez.
No Naga Siren to open up with, like, the Naga Disruptor, the Naga Jakiro.
Would you believe these teams researched each other before coming to a $1.5 million tournament?
Unacceptable. I think it would be way better if we just, not allowed. We just outlaw that whole Dota buff thing.
Well, it certainly would make things more interesting, but alas, it's a first-pick Shadow Demon. So where did he come from? Has Shadow Demon just been this like lurking support that was just one buff away from becoming top tier again? Or I thought he was almost he felt like a forgotten about support in a lot of ways, and now we're seeing him. I mean, this is a small sample size, but this is our third game in a row of Shadow Demon first pick.
He popped up a little bit after a couple buffs like a month ago because a lot of fives fell off really hard. Shadow Shaman, remember that guy who was in every single game?
Oh, yeah.
Gone. Remember Rubik being first picked every game? Boo.
Well, to be fair, Rasta was hit pretty hard with the Nerf Hammer.
Yeah,
the shackles are pretty bad. What is his starting movement speed? Like 240 now or something? I mean, he's slower than shit.
240, that would be really slow. It's not quite that bad.
Not that bad, but he's still slow.
And then Leshrac, of course, has kind of been the other position 5. It's basically like Shadow Demon, Leshrac, and Bane. Now, I would say a little interesting they went with the Shadow Demon over the Bane, especially as we talk a lot about, like, just China prioritizing this idea of, like, BKB heroes and trying to make sure you have a way to go through them. But Newbee maybe have some other ideas coming out here. And, oh, look, it's Shadow Demon Luna.
Well, talk about the old classic, Illusion Dota. And isn't it hard to believe that this is still a viable strat compared to how strong it used to be and how much just illusions have been nerfed, illusion damage.
It's so much worse.
The gold you get from illusions, all of it across the board is a different ball game, but it's still kind of viable. It's still really obnoxious. And I think we have proof now that Shadow Demon isn't that one-dimensional, I'm just making illusions. He's their initiator. He's the setup. Soul Catcher lets you get those kills on those really tanky cores. He is a little bit more versatile than just an illusion creator. Yeah,
and, how much you know about Spirit will take out the Kunkka, knowing what they know about the hero? Just the way they drafted with the SD to start, and then the way they're able to just, like, bring that Kunkka into the mid, too. I wouldn't be surprised seeing them remove it. Maybe they want to pick it for themselves, perhaps. Not a bad hero to help clear out some illusions time and time again, but... No, this makes sense. This explains why they went for the Shadow Demon. They had a plan. Looks like Newbee have, of course, they've been sitting for a while. They're a little cold right now. They're watching that last series, chilling out, waiting to get things going. We managed to get back on schedule, honestly, despite the delays we had earlier in the day. So shout out to our admin crew.
Yeah, and that last series going 2 games also helped maintain the schedule.
Thank you, Team Spirit.
If that one went the stretch, this would have been a late night. So. Yes, we do indeed thank you, but I'm curious what Newbee are going to build the rest of this draft around, because as you and I have talked about, picking is so much about blocks, it feels like right now, right? Like these lane duos, these partners, like a Luna Shadow Demon. That's a block,
That's a block.
They want to come together, they want to sit in the lane.
Like Lego blocks.
Now,
right together.
What's our other block here? What is the block that fits into the Luna Shadow Demon so perfectly? What's the Chewbacca to your Han Solo here?
A Jakiro +1, perhaps?
Okay.
Right? You got a little Jakiro Shadow Demon to kind of link up for the rest of the game, but in the laning stage they can be apart and each help out a separate core.
Okay.
That's a nice possibility.
Okay. Yeah.
The Doom's gone. I feel like Doom is like my go-to +1 for laning. The Axe has been removed, as we kind of expected that with DK Phobos' performances. We're still looking at the Death Prophet as well, and one thing about picking that Shadow Demon is that you kind of safeguard your Death Prophet. Now, there's still Doom, but like this whole idea of the Death Prophet just buying the Eon Disc and buying the Yule Scepter, Shadow Demon gets rid of all of that because he purges you, and it constantly purges over and over throughout the ultimate. And so that's going to get rid of your Yule Scepter, get rid of your Eon Disc. So some concerns there. But will they ban out the Kunkka? Because that would be a lovely little finisher unique block for the mid lane to chill by himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have seen the power of Kunkka both as a support, both as a core, in certainly days prior to today, but in that last series, Kunkka felt like one of the driving forces in both games. We even saw in that second game, it's like, oh, they killed the Kunkka, now they can finally break high ground. Like, he was that high ground wall that just is so hard to breach.
Now, my boy Kaka here. Now, before his days of this Clockwork shenanigans and these Naga Siren shenanigans, This man was one of the most famous bounty hunters. He used to play a lot of bounty hunter. That was kind of his thing. It was like him and Pile Die.
You know, I was thinking about Bounty Hunter, but Bounty Hunter Shadow Demon, that is that aggressive enough? That feels like
it definitely depends on your other heroes. There's no question.
Yeah.
But
that feels risky, I guess, is what I'm getting
One
at.
thing that's nice about him, though, is he does create a lot of space for someone like a Luna. And Luna can also kind of fight in and around that timing of, like, the level 6 with the track and everything.
That's
but
very true.
I'm looking to see if Newbee will at least bring it out during this tournament. Maybe not this game, maybe not this series, but I want to see him go back, man. That was Kaka's thing.
Yeah.
He was so in on that. But we will get the 5. It'll be the Warlock for Team Spirit. I mean, I say 5. You never know. When is it time for the mid-lock, the core lock once again? Yeah. With that new set coming out, everyone wants to play him. Yeah. He looks sick. We're not actually looking for a core lock. So this was the old counter to the Shadow Demon +1.
Right.
With the, or like Chaos Knight, everyone used to go with the Fatal Bonds up against all the illusions.
Yep.
Wipe them out.
And having the rock is pretty nice. You know, they run up your high ground. It gives you a really clean initiation. It clears out the illusions pretty effectively. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Finally.
Speaking of CK, that's what Newbee really need. They need the support Aghanims CK to go with this Luna trend.
That would really finish off this draft.
That's
right
that's the real cherry on top. But probably the position 3 here in the Sand King. So
or the 4 with the Shadow Demon. It's perfectly fine.
That's true. That could be the 4. I was thinking, is there potential for this to lead into the Bounty Hunter? Is Sand King Bounty Hunter enough of a block?
No, I'm more thinking of like a Bat Rider actually. If it works, like I feel like it's kind of okay. Maybe not so much of a KP hero. I think with most teams it would have been a pretty good game for it, but they're more about like the Tide Hunter or something like that. Up against the Doom, that's a little risque, but if your Tide Hunter's getting doomed, you can almost say like, okay, you know, it means Luna's not doomed.
Yeah.
Sand King can kind of make up for it.
That is one of the classic ways of handling Doom. Just pick 3 cores that all are really good Doom targets, and it's, well, you got to pick one of the 3. So somebody is going to be doing damage in the fights. So what do Spirit want to grab here?
They want
their supports.
I would think their mid hero would be the pick here because you want to protect, unless they really want like a specific position 1, like a Morphling or something. The Warlock +1, this is another block, right? It's all about Warlock healing some stupid hard carry that can't be harassed down in lane because you just constantly heal him over and over.
Like a Terror Blade or something like that.
Morphling. I mean, Spectre, of course, was a big one for like Fnatic that they've been playing a lot. So... yeah, and you say Terrorblade. Honestly, the hero's fallen off a lot, but up against a Luna, there's like some thoughts on it. It's actually going to be a really survivable hero in the Weaver. So someone who doesn't necessarily need that much help, and then that just takes it as like, yes, you have the Warlock to counter the Luna and the Shadow Demon, but it almost feels like you're not utilizing like one of the benefits of the
full spread of the Warlock.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like at least in the last couple weeks of Dota, or maybe couple months, Warlock has been that really defensive support, and it's the heal used just to keep somebody alive, like you were saying. I don't know. It's an interesting pick from Spirit. I worry that they're a little bit light on reliable control. Like, you've pretty much got this Lesh. And then, yeah, you've got big ultimates in Doom and Warlock, and those are huge for key fights. But especially the way Spirit likes to play, generally speaking, with a lot of skirmishes, you know, they usually tend to gravitate towards heroes more like Lesh that can fight very regularly. I worry that Newbee can kind of exploit the heroes that they've got here. Now they grab Centaur. So
so that's our KP hero then.
Nice initiator, nice big boy in the front line. You definitely need somebody like this with Luna, right? Luna is one of those glass cannon type carries, very susceptible to burst, and now they've got pretty good peel. You've got Sand King and Stentar with great AoE stuns, 2 good Blink Dagger carriers, and of course your Shadow Demon's always going to be there with defensive disruptions for your Luna to get jumped on. So that means she can just grab a pretty early BKB, and they can run up to the high ground, and you know, I could see this Newbee draft come together sooner rather than later.
I'm just looking for a Shadow Blade or a heavy blinker, like a Queen of Pain or a Lina, someone who's going to try and find this Warlock as the fight starts.
I think DK would have been the pick, but obviously banned out here by Spirit.
Yeah, and then the Ember taken away, which also would have been pretty good.
Also a good ban. What else for SCCC? Like, how about
he's
Lina?
He's just playing so much Lina. Like,
okay.
like with the Shadow Blade, it's just like, it feels like that's what they're going to want. It adds a little bit more siege potential, keeps the Luna a little bit further back. So like,
it also
Lina
gives them
plus
that
illusions.
burst. Like right now, I think they're a little bit light on finding those burst kills, and Lina gives them, like, if that Weaver gets caught by a stun, you got Lucent Beam, Laguna, that Weaver's going down.
They also still have DP as an option, which would give them a silence. It's like kind of okay.
I don't love it, but
Doom.
it works. Yeah. But like we said, with those many that many Doom targets, you can sort of get away with it here because it means either DP is going to be running free and Luna gets doomed,
I like
or
the queen.
vice versa.
I'm going to go with the Queen of Pain for the Orchid. I feel like that's...
Even against Doom.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
It's all right.
Why not? Well, because Doom locks her down.
She dies.
He hits pretty hard. Infernal Blade's not fun. But it's the Quap. You called it. I'm a little surprised over the Lena.
I think it's important to have that instant initiation, blow up the Warlock, get an Orchid for the Weaver, force him to a Lincoln's.
That is true.
Although the Lincoln's was already really good for the Sand King, so in that sense it's not that great, but it feels like SCCC here.
This is also a game where I could see that Orchid being very strong against heroes other than Weaver.
Yeah,
right?
like the Warlock and the Lesh.
Yeah, it's just a great Orchid game.
Now,
and it also does
Lena, though.
Sort of similar to like I said about Lena. They have that burst damage with the kills. Quap also does bring that to the table.
Are we just G-Lena? Is that where we're at
Shadow
here? Are we
Fiender,
Wind
Lena.
Rangering again?
Underlord. So is this a G Underlord? No, it's a Phobos Underlord G Lesh.
We're going back in there, so we'll have the support Doom. Okay. So this was, I think some people were theorizing just with the changes to Doom and a couple nerfs there. It's like, all right, maybe we're going to simplify this hero. We're throwing it back to the ultimate. Might see a few more support Dooms these days.
What do you think about the core Lesh? I think the G Lesh stands out to me more so than anything else about this draft.
It's someone who you'd like to see the full draft first, which is nice, right? You just kind of want to have an idea as to how much damage they have to output.
It's like a great first pick, flex pick, and then you can round it out like this and say, all right, G, that's you.
Yeah. It's more illusion spam counter, so you just throw down some lightning and everything. I'm not a huge fan. I feel like he needs a lot of items to be good.
I feel like to make this hero look really good in the core role, you have to play close to perfect, and if you mess up at all, the hero is very easy to punish. Is that fair?
Yeah, especially with how common Bloodstone still is on him.
Yeah, that's
you die a couple times, and it's like, all right, well, that was fun, guys.
Bloodstone is like the quintessential high-risk, high-reward item. It's like, well, I got 30 Bloodstone charges. I think this game's easy, and
except it's
I
like
got 3.
It's like high risk, like
medium
reward. It's pretty good, but is it like it's not a rapier?
Actually, you're right. That's
like,
a good way to put it. It's high risk and mid tier. Yeah. Bloodstone does feel a little. Not many heroes buy Bloodstone right now.
To be fair, it is absolutely Ska from FNG. It is absolutely incredible on Leshrac. I mean, the speed this hero can farm, it's disgusting. Like,
yes,
a wave just dies in a second. You're on the map, wave's gone, and you're just off into the night. You're a disco pony who runs at like 490 or something stupid.
But that's how it is. That's the life of being a glass cannon hero. And Newbee have a lot of burst potential.
And catch. Sand King, Queen, Stampede help.
Yeah, Stampede alone is a fabulous tool against Leshrac. Well, how are these lanes going to settle down? Looks like a 2-1-2 coming out of Spirit. The Underlord and Warlock.
Now that's an irritating lane to try and pressure into a core. That's pretty cool. All right.
But they are going to be up against a safe lane try. So Newbee are going to be doing this classic style.
Oh, the stomp is successful for KP. He gets the bounty rune for his team, but these body blocks out from Beaver. Get out of here.
Well, Centaur is in a world of hurt, and this could even be a first blood. He does get a stomp on 2. Do they want to pursue? No.
Nah. Too deep.
So he will probably just head back to the well, I think.
Yeah, totally out of mana. Not going to be worth mangoing and TPing in for one wave.
Not worth wasting yourself. Okay, so pretty good start for Spirit. They do repel the Centaur. Mid lane, who wins this matchup here, Trent? Well, we're going to hold that thought because up top, there is some setup on the Underlord. That's going to be a disruption. Now a follow-up stun. Hey, there's Moogie with a couple of right clicks. But, oh, wait, it's a Shadow Word. So FNG will keep him alive, but going to be hard for the Underlord to farm in this lane. Not that Underlord needs a lot of farm to shine, but it's kind of strange, right? Because this Radiant lane is good from a very defensive perspective. But I think Newbee might have the damage to just straight up win this lane.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're going to be pretty damn irritating. If they fully commit the supports up here, it's going to be rough, but that's going to just help out the other lanes too. So
yeah, I mean, I guess it means that the Weaver gets the free farm, right? Look at KP trying to pull this wave, being a nuisance, and doing a pretty good job at it.
I mean, FNG's doing the same. It's working up top, so.
Yeah.
All the way back. And
it just feels a little more safe as the Centaur, you know? The Warlock in this position, eh.
Oh, is he going to go for TP? Kaka turned around. And he's not going to go for it. Oh, yeah, now he's
it
going
is.
to go. All right.
Okay. Well, I'm a little surprised Kaka didn't continue to chase him down there.
Surprised he went home.
Oh, yeah, that too. He could have just maybe just wanted to top off his mana instead of TPing to the tower. He has 3 clarities, though, so that seems like...
I mean, the wave's not going to be there anytime soon, so I guess he doesn't really need to be tough. Like, he dragged that thing way back.
I guess he wants to pull a rotation here. He is headed mid for now, so there's definitely some variation there.
Now, this matchup has changed a little bit with the whole Lightning Storm. That changed, right? So instead of 800 level 1, it has to scale up some. So it doesn't really matter if you get, maybe you can get the stick a little bit later. He already has it there for SCCC though, so. Fun times. A lot of this is just depending so much on like the double nulls. Whoever gets it out first.
Will start to pull ahead.
Yeah. And then Queen, if you can find that moment to play aggressive as Queen though, and you know they miss the split earth, obviously you can just kind of get a kill out of nowhere.
Kaka playing a little back and forth with FNG. Giving the Underlord a little bit of space in lane as the creeps are pushing in. Luna handling this just fine. Actually farming evenly with the Weaver, so all things looking fairly even here. Centaur even with a couple last hits himself, so he's about on par with the Underlord. And the mid, 9-6, 9-6, dead split.
SCCC just pulled a boss-ass move in the mid lane. So he stands next to his range creep, baits out the split earth, so Lesh goes for it. He blinks to the last second, so the split earth just hits the range creep, and then he denies the range creep from the Lesh rack.
That's pretty clutch.
That's some next level shit right there.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, he's all over it.
That's pretty tight. Centaur, get wrapped around on. Yeah, it's only a level 2 Doom, so not too scary. Relatively quiet laning stage, though.
Yeah, we're still hunting for first blood right now, and mid lane is like, you know, one guy's getting daggered down a little bit. You're up to the level 2 lightning. It's getting a bit dicey, but SCCC's also been rough on the courier. Like, he's only gotten it once so far. Oh, now he goes in. Not going to be the damage yet, though. 2 points in the dagger, only 1 in the screen.
Yeah, Quap with the regen advantage, though, still has a Tango, Wand, and the Fairy Fire.
KP's just running away down bot.
Lesh only with the Fairy Fire right now. Looks like he had to run out another salve for himself. And KP is like, hey, you want some extra creeps here, pal? How's this sound? This is a pretty new age strat.
Hey, these are my creeps. I'm going to farm them.
You run the creeps from bottom into mid to buff up your mid laner. I like this. But no, KP surviving here and gets another last hit out of it. And kind of going okay for him. Underlord's now spending some time in the jungle, so probably not ideal for DK Phobos, and both teams safe laners in free farm heaven right now. Weaver and Luna within a few CS of each other, just focused on keeping that equilibrium where they want it, finding those last hits.
I would say it is a lot harder to exert your net worth as a Weaver than it is as a Luna. Like, a Luna gets a good start, you buy a Mask of Madness, you farm the shit out of that map, and suddenly you're up 7k. And you're just like, all right, guys, I got a BKB. This game's so easy. Weaver, it's just like, all right, well, maybe I'll get a Deso and a Lincoln's.
Queen of Pain. She's got stick charges. She's good.
Ooh,
now,
he's low.
Rotation from Faith. That was a bold TP. He will live. The lightning's not enough damage, but bold.
Shrine up here, though. And we still are on the search for first blood. Nobody going down yet.
A lot of respect. Both teams, you know, they don't want to kill each other. They just want to focus on the PvE. I like it.
They're going to get a wave in up top here as well.
Man, Warlock is in serious poverty mode here.
Yeah, and
half the net worth of Shadow Demon.
Hopefully he at least splits this. I feel like you got to get something here as FNG.
Yeah, there's a point of sacrificial that is just too sacrificial. At some point, you are going to want boots. Just saying.
Yeah, and I mean, he'll be the tome hero, but he still needs to get up to, like, 4.5 or whatever.
Yeah. And now, initiation coming his way. The Soul Catcher is there. Kaka will have a stun. A couple of right clicks. This very well could be the first blood drawn by Moogie.
All right, Set it up, knock it down, and now we have Eclipse ready, so they can kind of posture around this tower. He's looking for a kill. Luckily, the wave's not pushing in at the moment, or else that would have been very dangerous. Could have just held right there and maybe even taken the tower, but it was shoved out there by the Firestorm.
Yeah.
Radiant, not sure where they rotated next with that Sand King and the Shadow Demon, though. No vision up there, so they're scanning their own mid, worried they're wrapping around on G.
Yeah.
Which is what you'd think they would do, to be honest. Bottom lane, they're on KP, though.
In pretty deep. TP on the way. He's already used the hoof stomp. No stick on KP, but he does have the mango. Shadow Demon with a disruption. Doom can't quite find KP in the trees. Great footwork there from the Centaur, but now Faith going to be left behind, it looks like. TP on the way in. Queen of Pain ready to turn this around, and it's Beaver. They're going to build a dam out of his corpse.
Man, Faith's crazy. He's just TPing in with no resources. He just like shows up with one spell and like a quarter HP.
I mean, he kind of knows his limits, though. I mean, both times it worked out. It's rather impressive. Kaka, an aggressive positioning here, denies that ward. That's kind of cute. Is he going to get caught here? No, doesn't look like it. He'll be just fine with 3 heroes inbound. Still has that burrow strike. There it is. And a couple of stick charges. Also, seeing some variance in these Shadow Demon builds. We saw FNG in the games earlier. He went for the 1-2 build at level 3, so it's 2 points in the Soul Catcher. And here we saw a 1-1-1, and now extra points in that Shadow Poison.
And maybe get a little bit of his farm game on here.
At what point do you want that disruption to be maxed out, you know, to really synergize with the Luna?
I would think like once your glaives are really up. I don't think it's too much of a concern until you're like maxing out your glaives. So
yeah, but I mean she's already level 7, so that's going to be maxed out next. So hold that thought as up top. Warlock initiated on again. Luna finding the kill, but these fatal bonds set it up, and 2 fall on the side of Newbee. 1 kill going to FNG, and the other going the way of the Weaver, being played by Illidan.
I guess I would say until you're ready to force towers, like I don't think it's going to speed up your farm. I mean, it definitely does. There's no doubt, but maybe there's more value in your Shadow Demon having the poison for like.
I worry like if he goes 3rd point poison at level 5, how much XP is this Shadow Demon going to get? Are we going to have a maxed out disruption by the time Luna really wants it? It's something to keep in mind because you know, sure he's the tome hero, but you know XP can be hard to come by at this stage of the game for Faith.
I mean, even Doom's still level 3, just across the board. Pretty low there. It's very concentrated. I mean, SCC's almost level 9. G, 7.5.
Set up top onto the Weaver. Beaver, he's got the net, and now Centaur pops the ulti to try to keep Faith alive. Shadow Poison's coming out. Actually, 3 stacks on Beaver as Luna rotates in. Moogie almost with that Mask of Madness as you were talking about. And now level 7, Eclipse, Lucent Beams, ready to go. Illidan needs to be a little bit careful here. There is a lot of burst damage, but of course does have a time lapse. There's the Eclipse, and Illidan, he gets back just in time, but it was kind of close. Beaver not so lucky. Moogie still goes down.
Hey man, that's worth very nicely played from Illidan.
That's the level 4 Firestorm there.
Yeah, this was always one of Illidan's heroes too, so he again knows how to push it to the limit. 10-minute runes up here. There was some chaos down bottom. Kaka kind of pushing in. It's going to allow him to get that bounty rune.
Might cost him his life, though, and it will.
Yeah.
Now the other bounty rune gets snagged by Beaver.
All even Stevens now, 4-4. And a Maelstrom already complete for our Weaver. Very aggressive.
Wow.
And that's like really quick aggression, too. This isn't like your Deso kind of aggression or something.
So no boots. Blightstone, Aquila, Wand, Maelstrom. This is a man's build right here, Trent.
I tell you.
This is a lumberjack build.
Yeah, he's about to be maxed out on his Geminate soon after he gets his level 10. All right.
Very interesting. And sort of as you were mentioning, like conventionally, Luna is the one that can just farm the jungle, show up, pop an ultimate, get some kills, and just keep farming. Weaver, you have to go in and out. You have to choose how to take your fights. I like that Illidan did not go for a Linken's first item, though.
Well, he played it right because he knew what he had to do. Like, we talked about how if you play passive, Luna's going to win. Like, it's harder to execute and harder to use your net worth in your early start as Weaver, but Illidan has done it. He came up here and he just killed her twice. And now he has taken over her lane, and he's
level
just going to
10.
follow and bully her.
Luna just now hits level 9, but Illidan's halfway to 11. He's a level and a half up.
Oh, why did they Stampede?
Stampede.
They're trying to. They thought Weaver was up there, I think.
They smoked. They're looking for him. They will find him. They drop the sentry.
He's dead.
Out comes the disruption, and he does die. But
all right, they gotta figure out that burrow strike.
That was
Kaka just got pinged. Like, dude.
yeah, that was a little awkward.
A little slow there.
They still got it. They still got it. So that's what really matters. But I actually thought that Sonic Wave missed at first.
Yeah, it looked
the
like
way it looked. Like that was. Whew. From free kill to that was a little close for comfort there, boys.
No, I think it might have. He only did 277 damage.
Oh, okay. So the
he
Sonic Wave
missed.
did miss.
Yeah, it's all right.
So say it did enough damage where it should have basically just one-shot him. Okay. Well, now that we figured out that mystery, up top, Underlord, he's level 8, and he's going to be working on his Hood of Defiance. So just beefing up like an Underlord normally would. Manta style going to be coming for Luna, so she'll get some illusions. Our friend Shadow Demon did commit to that third point in the Shadow Poison. So 1-1-3 at 5. Obviously, he will pick up Demonic Purge at 6. So very curious to see when this disruption will actually get maxed out. Could be a rotation coming on to G. There's Kaka, scouts it out. The dagger comes, and the Pony Boy is going to be put to rest here. But Warlock, whoa, the turn, big fatal bonds. Is it going to be enough damage? Faith with the disruption. SCCC does TP home to safety. Kaka, 18 stick charges. Looks like they might only get the kill on Faith. So when it's all said and done, I think Newbee pretty happy to trade a support for the mid-lesh. And also, it's a big rotation from Spirit. The Weaver is pressuring up top.
Coming in here, though.
Uh-oh. They catch Doom. Nice hoof stop from KP and a Lucent Beam to find it. They might just kill this Golem, too. That's free money.
Yeah, it's tempting, but you don't want to get too low near a shrine.
Yeah,
you never know when Illidan's going to show up and start flexing his muscles once again.
It's on cooldown, but...
That is true. A fair point.
Fair point, sir. This shrine haveth no cooldown. FNG starting to get a little farm of his own. He's level 6, as we just saw. Has his boots, has a bracer, a couple of wards. He's a pretty happy Warlock.
Yeah, not bad. Bracer that early. It's okay.
I feel like Newbee are just in a better position right now. You know, I feel like they're kind of controlling the tempo, and Orchid will be first item on SCCC, and as soon as that comes out, I think they can just start getting a lot more aggressive.
Well, what happened with the Weaver, right? He gets those 2 kills. He's up ahead on the net worth over the Luna, and then what happened? Now Luna's 800 gold up.
Yep.
Well, Luna happened. Yeah, she just got a little bit of space.
And
they don't have the best vision down in that big triangle.
And also, look at KP, 3,500 net worth. He's obviously behind the Underlord, but expected Underlord farms so much faster than the Centaur. He's pretty close to his Blink Dagger. You know, like, Centaur is really not a popular hero right now. Some games you'll see this guy, hey, he's level 3, what do I do now? And KP did a really good job pulling attention down bottom, pulling the creep wave, and now it seems like Newbee are prioritizing his farm so they have that key initiator.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of love here today, so maybe he'll keep getting picked at the Supermajor. We'll have to see. But
I thought you meant KP, not Centaur.
Can never really count out the Stampede.
Oh, yeah.
Global abilities are hard to come
Moogie.
by.
He's got a Yasha.
He's got a Boogie.
He's pretty fast.
Oh,
he's eating through
trees. He wants
trees.
to dump this ulti.
He wants to TP, and Doom will stop that with a Split Earth to boot, and nowhere for Moogie to go. Kaka. Grabs a bounty rune, and he'll be heading back to his side to grab that other bounty. Dark Rift used to take the mid, but now the Centaur ult, they want to initiate onto the Doom. Do they have the damage? With SCCC, they sure do. KP sets it up, and SCCC cleans it up. But now the Cavalry's here. Spirit, they want more. Faith on the run, has the bugs, and they'll find that kill there. 7-8. Spirit striking right back.
KP's got his Blink Dagger, but it does not appear that SCCC is going to turn around and join him. He wanted to try and set something up there, but not going to happen.
I feel like G has just not accelerated in the same way we were thinking the Lesh might be able to. He does farm very quickly. He's going for the Yules, which is a really key item on this hero. You need the movement speed. You need the mana regen. But Quap is just a hop and a step ahead of him. And again, once she has that Orchid, it's the same thing with the Weaver versus Luna type situation. Once Quap gets that Orchid, she turns into a different hero.
Yeah, that's true. G will have his Yules at that point, so he'll be relatively secured from that, but then there could just be the follow-up. Like, you know, they have the one thing is when you're playing against a Shadow Demon, the Yules is obviously it's less value because of his ultimate, but also teams tend to have follow-up for disruption, which means they have follow-up for Yules up against you, you know?
Yes.
So it can be very dangerous.
That's a really good point, yeah. Yeah, I think ideally you want to be using that Yules like, aggressively to help set things up, but yeah, you make a good point about it being a little less versatile compared to usual. Luna.
They've pressed forward on their vision, too. So before, they only had this ward down here, but now they know this is where Luna's playing, so we need this vision. This will give them a kill on Newbee.
There's that initiation with the rock. No Doom, but they probably won't need it. Eclipse doing some pretty good return damage. Mugi falls, but Kaka is in the fray. Now Kaka falls, but Beaver does get clipped by the ult from SCCC. G trying to TP home. It looks like he will be successful, and on the other side, Faith gets brought down by the Weaver, who's able to time-lapse back to safety. A 1-for-3, pretty disastrous engagement for Newbee. And just like that, Spirit grabbed the net worth lead with a 1,000 net worth swing.
Man, a little risky up around the shrine, but it was fine. Got it done. They didn't even have a chance to really pop in, making use of it of Newbee. So, in fact, SCCC is going to pop in now to use for farming. So, very happy with that overall from Spirit, and their ward was left in. They had that sentry there just kind of making Luna maybe feel safe, but still both observers looking nearby. Actually, one time's out, but solid vision still remaining.
Yeah. It's always bittersweet when that sentry's down right next to an observer. You get that false sense of security. Manta style getting closer for Luna. Again, checking in on the Shadow Demon build, now level 7 with the 4th point in Shadow Poison.
Yeah, I think it's like you don't really just want to like follow them everywhere. I mean, now would be a pretty good time to just disrupt them for the ancient stacks and everything.
Yeah.
For the most part, your 4 heroes are making space. They just.
I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm harping. I'm more just curious to see how Faith transitions this build. I was thinking he might do kind of a hybrid, like a 2-1-2 instead of the 1-1-3 or something. But committing to the damage on Shadow Poison. And to be fair, level 4 Shadow Poison does do a lot of damage. You know, 4 or 5 stacks is super significant in these team fights.
It's like 1,625 or something for 5 stacks. It's like a stupid amount of damage.
It really is a lot. Of course, it does require that time to stack it up, but the way these team fights go, maybe not an impossible feat. So it's turning into an interesting game where it feels like Spirit have been finding better team fight trades, but I feel like Newbee are farming the map better. So the economy is still favoring the Dire side, even though they just lost that fight. They're just split up a lot more. You've got somebody farming top while they're farming the enemy jungle, and right now Spirit are just grouped up as 5 in the mid lane. They might be able to take down this tier 2 tower, but it's costly to be this clumped up at only 19 minutes into the match. Oh, Dark Rift. It's going to be used by the Underlord. Where are we going, big boy? It's up top. They're going to go up to the tier 1, and they're going to repel the likes of Kaka.
A little bit of split push action down bottom from SCCC forces them back.
Yep.
Faking the ulti, though. Thinking about it.
There it is. It comes out. Silence, though, onto the Weaver. Do they have the burst damage? They do. Weaver's down. So is the Warlock. And now the Golem gives them a little bit of bonus gold. Mugi gets a kill and an extra 100.
Orchid out from SCCC. Game is good.
Well. How quickly the turntables. As now BKB will be on the horizon for the Queen of Pain.
And the Luna.
An incredible BKB game. Not many games that you can say BKB is objectively bad, but against the Leshrac, against that Firestorm, lots of things that you're going to want to be immune to.
Well, there's also Warlock ulti and Doom. And the right clicks the Weaver. Although he did go Maelstrom, so there's some value there.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. Doom obviously goes through BKB, but at the same time,
I mean,
we've seen he dooms the BKB target, and you're like, well, I was BKB'd. It actually wasn't really that bad. Now you guys can't kill me because no one else can follow up. So it kind of swings both ways, but you make a fair point. KP down bottom, initiated on and brought down. Doom used on the Queen of Pain just as she wanted to blink away, but I don't think the follow-up's going to be anywhere nearby, and Quap will live. Still a good pick on the Centaur as the rest of Newbee group up in that top lane, and it looks like they'll be able to grab a tier 1 tower of their own.
And they are losing a little bit of ground in the farm war, surprisingly.
Yeah,
just with those kills, but
the The difference, though, Trent, is that Luna is by far the leading farmer. And once that BKB comes out, I think it's going to be a little hard to control Mugi. I mean, Newbee are closing in on this timing in the mid-game where BKBs will be fresh. They've got those core items, and you know, Weaver still isn't really completely online yet. Looks like his Lincolns is on the way. Yep.
Well, it is to support Doom, too, so he couldn't really get the quick Shadow Blade. He's just going to go for the Blink Dagger, and this is going to slow it down. He's 5 gold away.
Oh,
Live! Live, boy!
Sweet.
Oh, he got it. He's good. And he presses the buy key.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to hold it for now. Underlord with the Dark Rift. He's going to rotate in, and Faith will be the one that gets brought down. KP getting chased down by Illidan. It's a twofer. And just like that, Spirit pulled back into the lead.
So now, as you said, highly concentrated net worth. But now you have a Blink Doom. He might just hop on that Luna, you know?
Yeah.
It should be enough that he can still get away, eliminate her from the engagement, try and clean up the rest of them, and see if that'll be enough to let Illidan really flourish in these engagements.
Turned into really kind of an interesting mid-game here where both sides have a lot of options, but so much about the positioning and the catch. That bottom tier 2 does go down, so only 2 outer towers remaining for Newbee. Geez, Lesh really starting to come into his own here, Trent. I was a little cynical about his ability to farm, but he's now got a 14-charge Bloodstone to go with that Yule Scepter, and a BKB is queued up.
And this is where the hero turns on. Like, he can farm as fast as a Luna.
Yeah.
Now, if he dies a couple times. But as long as he stays alive and keeps those Bloodstone charges up, he never really has to go back home.
So with this BKB on Luna, is this a turning point potentially for Newbee where you try to get aggressive? Good timing for it to come out, given that Spirit are just now moving into the Roche pit.
Yeah, I think with Blink on both Sand King and Centaur, they are ready to fight 100%. And this is a great time for them. They're happy Team Spirit are in there, I am sure.
Yeah, and they do not kill Roche quickly. Illidan kind of breaks this smoke.
They get the Orchid on the Warlock.
There's the Pit of Malice. Who did he doom? Did he doom an illusion? Oh no, now Spirit though, they could be in some trouble. Kaka with a decent ult, they're getting the Underlord very low. The ultimate from Warlock does break things up a little bit. KP now getting repelled. Both teams with very low heroes, but a good hoof stomp onto Illidan. There's the Orchid, and they will bring him down. However, it costs them 2. Now buyback used by the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, that was the Shadow Demon illusion of Luna.
Yep.
Doomed right up. That's disappointing.
That's a bummer. I had to double check that cooldown before I called it, but
yeah.
Ooh, mama.
That hurts. And once again, Illidan also can't get off his ultimate for the second fight in a row there. So Spirit lost their initiation too, because the quick Orchid from SCCC onto the Warlocks kind of broke that up, and now...
Speaking of Orchids, it's back on the Doom. The BKB gets debuted, and the Soul Burn will bring down the Beaver. Now Roshan getting poked by Newbee, and they can go, wait a second. No, we don't want to do this. Why are we doing this? We don't have any minus armor.
Yeah, why don't you guys go back in. We'll just hang out here. You know, you guys whittle it down a little bit.
How about you guys do Roche, and then we'll counter-initiate. That sounds like a good plan. But good stuff for Newbee, giving them a sign of life here. Phobos on the Underlord, itemizing very tanky. Has the completed Crimson Guard and Pipe now, so upgrading that basic kit. With the Vanguard and Hooded Defiance.
Offlaners in 2018. Welcome.
Oh, Crimson Guard. I hardly knew ye. Weaver looking for a BKB of his own, looks like. Has that Ogre Axe. I still call it the Ogre Club.
It was way funnier.
But it's next. So now they're starting to do this illusion nonsense. It is a level 3 disruption from Faith, so very patient.
Oh, they're
not
securing the high ground, looking for a smoke here.
Yeah.
On the dire side.
So it's just not the same Shadow Demon Luna that it used to be. You can't just throw those illusions to the enemy, because you got to remember, you're giving gold away.
Yeah.
That didn't used
and
to
you're
be the
not
case.
destroying a tower in like 30 seconds.
That too.
That was pretty great, you know.
Oh, those days.
Well, at the very least for Team Spirit, they did not lose the Leshrac, so they're not going to fall too far behind in terms of net worth. They're still keeping up with the farm. Weaver's going, Leshrac's going. They're still holding the mid lane, trying to ensure that Newbee will not be taking over the pit. And Newbee, in their heyday, a.k.a. the start of the season when they got all their major DPC points, they basically just ran Protect Roche.
Their heyday wasn't when they won TI or anything like that. No.
No, that was an old Newbee. We don't count that.
I get your point.
These boys, this
it just sounds funny to say that about a TI when back in the heyday when they were climbing the DPC ladder.
Yeah, whatever.
I feel you, but we'll see if they can smoke.
Oh, look at this! They smoke past Roche. I wonder if they're gonna know if they're in Roche or if they're on this high ground. Because they might end up right behind them.
Kind of an awkward angle. It looked like a great way to initiate, but Beaver actually doesn't stay on the high ground, and now they've got this window to initiate. They jump on the Doom, but it's a big Warlock ultimate. It actually stuns
5-man Fatal Bonds.
But is it going to actually matter? Now Phobos goes down. Kaka getting low, and it looks like it will matter indeed. The Doom buys back. He uses it on Luna, and it is going to secure them pretty close to a 5-man wipe. The Quap does live. It's a 2 for 4, I believe. And a big win for Spirit, about a 2K net worth swing, and now Roche will be theirs.
Warlock did 3,500 damage in that fight. The next highest was 1,500 from like the Weaver and the Leshrac. That Fatal Bonds was huge.
I mean, not only the Fatal Bonds, that ultimate was huge. He hit 5 heroes with that Chaotic Offering. I mean, I don't have a word for it. It's just damn impressive. It's just damn impressive. That is a Rod of Atos now on FNG.
Nice way to help control this Queen of Pain in between her BKB. She's going right into a Lincoln, so.
You know, speaking of turntables, though, Trent, remember that early game where this Warlock was in poverty mode, Shadow Demon was looking good? It's flip-flop. Now Shadow Demon's at 1,500 net worth, and all of a sudden this Warlock is starting to feel like a real hero.
Yeah, kind of funny when you have Luna. One way you can actually make money as a Shadow Demon, and he maxed the Shadow Poison first, which is the other way you can get some gold as a Shadow Demon. But he's not really making those. Maybe he is making use of it, but it's not for himself. It's just wards, I guess.
Yeah.
So he heads back to hitting some jungle creeps.
Also kind of an interesting change from the Weaver. He had bought that Ogre Club, and now he's gone back for the Hyperstone. So it looks like he'll just upgrade to the Mjolnir. Certainly a great item, but a little surprised that he doesn't want the BKB.
Yeah, seems like they just want some more damage. Not feeling too comfortable in these fights.
Speaking of BKBs, Leshrac with 18 Bloodstone charges. He living up to his name. Short for God. KP. Will he get the TP?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, sir.
Try to get the Yules in time, but no range.
And there's your Mjolnir.
Anything incredible this game with Mjolnir? Not really, just like Glaives bouncing is a lot of like common procs. It's not bad.
Yeah. Certainly not bad, but not an obvious Mjolnir game by any means. Aegis in tow. Got a frontlining Weaver. Doom working on a BKB. That was the item progression over here on the Dire side. Sand King looking at his Yules, and Luna, she's just going to go into Butterfly. So even though Spirit have regained some control of this game, Mugi is still farming like an absolute madman. He's still 4K net worth ahead of the Weaver.
Yeah. They've had to put so much of their gold into defensive items, though, because they don't really have the best defensive offlaner. Like, he just is a hood for himself and a Blink Dagger, so there's no big aura, which is something that a lot of teams rely on right now from the offlaner. And if they don't get it from the offlaner, they usually get it from the position 4, but Kaka's also just gone for a Blink Dagger. So having DK Phobos creates this big gap in between the two teams in terms of overall survivability, where Team Spirit has a really big edge.
Well, high ground siege commences. Illidan on the front lines, chipping away at this tier 3 tower. Already has it down to about 2/3 HP.
Radiant boys need an urn, though. I will say that.
I can definitely agree there, but Weaver initiated on again. Big chaotic offering breaks up the fight. Time lapse keeps Weaver alive. Beaver and Kaka trade their lives, but Newbee on the back foot. BKBs have been used. KP pops the Stampede, but it won't be enough to survive as the Disco Ball Leshrac does the big AoE damage.
And that was without a Doom getting off in time as well.
There are 2 buybacks available on Newbee, but they're not on the heroes that are dead. So it is going to be a 4v3 for at least the next 25 seconds until that Sand King respawns, Trent. Yeah. I think this is at least 1 million of barracks.
Oh, any more kills here? FNG's got the 60% XP talent as well. Looking for those big 20 and 25 talents. A hero that gets a little ludicrous in some of those later levels, like those Magic Immune Golems, can be very hard to deal with.
Yeah. 60% XP. What a talent. Not many times you would say, yeah, I'll take an XP talent at level 15, but for 60%,
Yeah, support Warlock, yeah.
I think I might do it.
So Shrine's cleaned up. DK Phobos heading down the old flowchart Dota. They're a little bit ahead of schedule, though. They took their tier 3, took a Shrine, still a tier 2 up top to take. Didn't even need the Roche, as it's obviously still backing towards the respawn.
The level 20 on Warlock is,
they had the edge.
is the Death Golem the go-to
so.
always? Is the 300 Shadow Ward AoE ever picked up?
Nah, I've seen it a couple times, but man, I forget Illidan even still had the age. It's been so long.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
about to expire, though.
I'm pretty anti-death talents. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, I hear you. But at the same time, he's up against a Queen of Pain. Like, there's a threat for them to kill him first. So
That's
in
true.
that sense, it kind of works
in
for that
this
hero.
game, he has played such a key counter-initiator. It's like, well, if you kill me, I still counter-initiate with the Golem. So I think his makes some sense. And the Undying Tombstone is the other big one that people talk about. It's like, well, what does Undying like to do? He dies a lot, but there's just I can't digest it. You know,
I know, because you want to be godlike. You don't want to die.
I never go into a team fight going, well, I died, so at least I had that talent. But here's the fight. He used the Orchid straight away on Illidan. He survives through it. That'll be his time lapse. G getting low with his BKB on. They actually bring him down. He has to deny himself. The mass exodus now begins as Phobos channels the ultimate. And they lose 2. Very strange initiation there from Spirit.
I felt rushed maybe to create something while the Aegis was still there, and then it timed out.
Yeah,
just get out.
That was really weird. It did feel like they really forced it. Almost like they thought somebody from Newbee was farming the jungle and they had a numbers advantage there, and that was just not the case. He used the Orchid on the Weaver. It didn't kill him, but it repelled the Weaver from the fight.
BKB Weaver going to be very good at helping to take these high ground buildings and try and clean up another lane. Yeah, dive deep, get right on top of the Luna. But with him investing into the BKB as well as the Lincolns, he is far behind in terms of a MKB, which Luna's Butterfly going to make it a little hard for him to pump the damage onto Mugi. So who is our answer to Mugi? I mean, if we don't get a Doom off, it's not very easy to bring him down.
Yeah.
He's going to be a problem.
You're absolutely right about that. 6-second BKB on the Quap, who now has a Lincoln's. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mugi is still this huge threat, even with Spirit having a commanding position. They will jump in. They get the Centaur pretty low, but not committing too deep.
And they actually Orchid the Underlord.
You see that Mjolnir doing some pretty
maybe
solid
trying to force
work.
Greaves? Not sure.
Yeah, I don't think he's the Orchid choice by any stretch. Pipe, Greaves, and a Crimson Guard on top of that. Good luck. I think Orchid on this Warlock is kind of the dream, but now the initiation, the counter from Beaver, but in comes all of the ultimate. It's Spirit that's going down hard. Doom as well as the Underlord have already fallen, and G now gets repelled as well. Newbee completely hold the high ground and decimate this fight. A super chaotic exchange. It looks like every ultimate was just dropped at the same time, but it ends up being a 4-0. And I'm pretty sure Luna just popped the ult, sat in the back line, and was just bouncing glaives throughout that entire thing. When the recap comes, we'll see what the damage breakdown was and do a little post-analysis here. But yeah, Luna and Quap,
it was just her
big
glaives.
ones.
Like, she just popped Mask Madness and just threw him out. Didn't even have to use the ulti.
Yep.
She's just, and the Queen of Pain ulti, though, yeah. Very nice.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She didn't use her ulti. Yeah. You're right.
5K from Queen.
Whew. Yeah, big Sonic Wave in that fight. So, huge swing. Obviously, it's a great defense for Newbee, and just like that, what looked like Spirit's game, it's completely swung the other way. It is Team Spirit, Trent. Team Spirit.
You got it? You good?
It's Team Spirit. I got it. They're full of spirit.
Yeah, you got it.
Puppy is not on this team. I passed the quiz.
Maybe just feeling a little...
I think we can blame the jet lag.
Yeah, okay. Feeling a little ahead. Just got your BKB on your Weaver. Feeling good.
Yeah.
A little too much. Gotta chill back. pull it back for the old Roche, and he's lying in wait right now in his pit. Back home.
I almost feel like the really amazing ultimates from FNG worked against them there because they were so confident, like, oh, we're going to hit a 5-hero or a 4-hero rock, we're going to change it. But that also set up for Queen of Pain to hit a 5-hero Sonic Wave.
Yeah,
set up for Luna.
In.
So their strategy that worked so well, they can't just take a straight 5v5 where both teams just dump all of their damage into each other. The Warlock ultimate has to be more of a breakup. You know, it has to stop that momentum of the Newbee damage, or else it's just overwhelming. Phobos down bottom. Not the easiest target to kill. He does get off the Dark Rift. They're going to need a lot of damage. I don't think they're going to have it. No, not even close.
Nice. Very nice.
So Stampede used there as well as
they're going to smoke
epicenter.
into this. And with a 30% XP talent on Illidan, he has ditched any sort of movement speed items not required because he's got the 600 or whatever he's at now, 750 with the Shikuchi.
Plus 200. Illidan charging forward. Lincoln's gets broken. Newbee on the defensive here as Weaver charges up the high ground. Nice BKB as Beaver jumps in. Luna does get doomed up, but she's doing a lot of damage. Wap drops a big ultimate as well. Buyback from the Sand King. They are going to bring down Phobos, and it looks like this is Newbee's fight, but they're all so low. The Luna will get cleaned up, and as Weaver comes back in, it is Spirit that actually take this one. A topsy-turvy mid-game as it just keeps swinging from advantage to advantage, but this time Spirit are able to do it. Great smoke knowing some of those key ultimates were on cooldown.
Yeah, and I think SCCC made the right call blinking out at the end there just because G was really starting to lay into them from his perched ivory tower of the Yule Scepter. Invulnerable up there.
Lesh did 5,800 damage in that fight, on par with the Luna, who did 6K. So double buybacks used now by Newbee to make that defense on Faith and Kaka, so pretty serious economic damage.
Yeah, I'd really like to see them try and secure the Roche now. I think it's very important in this game for Team Spirit. And try and get some wards in that area. Make sure you have the golems ready and available. Maybe you have Doom on the dire side of the river, tucked in the trees somewhere, looking for that really important Doom. That's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to get for them. And they've got that northern vision going on the map right now. So we'll see if Illidan can help them bring it down in time.
Absolutely.
Dire probably know this is happening just by their aggressive wards.
With Luna dead, there's just not a hell of a lot they can do confidently to run into the pit here. Maybe they can go for a snipe of some sort, but definitely don't want to commit to a straight up
SCCC's thinking about it.
4v5. Aegis Roche, or Aegis Cheese rather. Cheese will go the way of the Leshrac. Also, MKB is up on the Weaver. So that butterfly from Luna now obviously going to be much less effective.
And he firmed that up fast.
Yeah, Weaver is looking pretty good. Kind of at that point where that gold lead that Luna has just doesn't really feel that significant. Sure, she does have the Satanic, but maybe a bigger item now picked up by the Centaur. That's the Aghanim Scepter. Not only being able to run over hills and whatnot, but having that damage mitigation is going to be really key in these. Like, the last two fights were just complete chaos of let's just dump everything at each other and see if the better man wins.
And they've been so many choke points, too, where these Sonic Waves have done an insane amount of damage. Like, they're almost carrying these fights, but it wasn't quite enough for Newbee in the last one.
But, I mean, it's just incredibly massive having a 4-second, 40% damage reduction that's global for the entire team when you're talking about, like, the Rock, all of that Firestorm damage. I think Centaur Aghanims is seldom a bad choice, but this is a game where it seems like a really good choice, like potentially game-winning choice.
Well, they're camped outside Newbee's base. G's back home with his bots ready, just wiping out waves instantly as Leshrac. And they're just trying to push Newbee to make a mistake. And it might be a pick-off here. Yeah, hard ask, though, without detection.
Oh, Doom?
That's a Doom. Man, he really likes those illusions.
That's unfortunate.
He's getting them good.
Especially.
Yeah, I don't know.
Illidan was fighting the Sand King. There's only one Sand King. Well, that was a bit peculiar. Not the end of the world. It's just a Doom. You know, it'll be back. It's just a cooldown.
Yeah. Doesn't cost you anything except possibly Roche. You know, it's no big deal.
And pride.
And pride. Mostly pride.
Mostly pride. Well, what's next for the Moogler? Looks like he's got a Lincoln's queued up. You think, is that the item? Do you want to go defensive with your last slot? I mean, I guess you can grab a Moon Shard after that, so that helps a little, but...
Yeah, I think you want one eventually. There's a Doom. What can you say? Then again, we're also at the point where you think Doom would be closing in on an item to cancel it, but he's a support who went for a BKB, so...
Yeah, down bottom. Weaver gets initiated on, but he's got a BKB. That'll get rid of the Orchid, and he'll be just fine. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's easy to say, well, ideally, someone else would build the Lincolns and then buff it on the Luna, so then she could have that 6 slot for a damage item, but realistically, who's going to do that? I'm not sure that that's...
And follow her around everywhere and
actually
replace it in every team fight.
I say that, but Sand King's 1K away from a Lincoln's, and they've already got one on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. You still need one on. Everyone wants one.
Yeah, I guess you can't really have too many Lincolns in a game like this. It's not really bad. Okay. You sold me on the Lincolns, Trent. You're a regular salesman.
I think, like, Doom has so much time because of the Golem ulti. Like, they just drop that down, and then that allows him to go, like, aha, that hero. And then he just, like, blinks on them and dooms them. So if you don't have Lincolns, then...
That's true. BKB used by SCCC, and they will drop the rock for this. But are they actually going to find the kill?
Imagine if he had Doom. Actually,
true.
I don't think they had any way to pop his Lincolns, though. So you know what? Wouldn't have mattered.
Well, couldn't they have done it with Lightning?
Well, he had his BKB upon himself, sir.
Oh, right.
So he could not.
No, you're right. There is nothing.
But Doom's back now, so it's okay.
Well, yeah, it comes back right as Warlock Golem's down now. So that's
perfect.
But they find one in the trees. It's SCCC.
Oh, he gets left behind, though.
And now he's just going to kill the Doom, it looks like. Doom uses his BKB to get rid of the Orchid, and G does end up going down.
That got a little awkward for a second
there. That really was. That was such a strange... I'm surprised that the Quap hung around like that. Like, she could have ran. You know, she had an escape, but she got a little cocky. Heart of Tarask now on G. So that's a 3,700 HP Leshrac.
That's one way to try and keep your Bloodstone charges.
Yeah.
Oh, how's this game going to end, Andrew? What are you thinking? Where are we at here, buddy? We got a Luna.
I think this is still Spirit's game. And I think it's, for me, it's coming down to plays. Like, I think Spirit is just executing a little better. Doom's had a couple misplays. You know, we've had a couple fights that weren't perfect, but generally speaking, I think Spirit are handling these fights a bit better than Newbee. And these pickoffs are allowing Spirit to do a little bit more. Up top, Kaka uses the ultimate as Illidan just being a nuisance. And down bottom, the split push is just too much for Newbee to deal with. Initiation on to Mugi. The Doom, it gets used on the right target this time, and the pretty lady Luna going to have to head back to the well to survive through this. Now that bottom lane of Barracks is exposed. They want SCCC. He will BKB and get pushed back, but this bottom lane will probably fall as the Weaver also got the tier 3 in the top lane. They are simply getting picked apart as they find the kill on Faith. The game might not end here, Trent, but just like that, it's a 14K net worth lead. Well, gosh darn it, I think this CIS squad might do it.
Yeah,
now,
looking that way.
The big jump onto Lesh. G getting low, but hey, that's a Yule Scepter. That'll buy him a little bit of time. Illidan also getting low. Does survive. G not so lucky. Now, SCCC did buy back to make this happen. Beaver, I don't know what that was.
That was my Leshrac just died. I was in there trying to help him.
Huh, okay. Well.
Okay, 10K lead though.
Still
but plenty of buybacks.
Pretty crippling damage overall. They force the buyback on the Quap. They get all the remaining tier 3 towers. And there is just one exposed lane of Barracks standing. Dire Glyph down for another 3.5 minutes. See what that Roche timer looks like in about 1:20. We'll see what the RNG is. But, yeah, I mean, what are you thinking? Do you think Spirit has this? Is there still a sign of life for Newbee? I mean, obviously with Shadow Demon Luna, you can pretty much go late forever and still feel pretty good, but...
There's definitely throw potential. It's a Luna, right?
Yeah.
You know, you mess up once, your whole base is gone. But they're going to have the refresher soon on the Warlock, which is very game-ending.
Oh, wow. He's got 4,500 gold. That's pretty darn close. He's also got a gem in tow. Oh no, here's the initiation onto Quap. BKB used.
No turn there from FNG. Tempting to use the ultimate, especially
They're
right now.
going to keep pursuing. There is a Scotty up on the Weaver. SCCC, no BKB, does make it back, but KP looks like he'll be left behind. Perhaps TP, they've got the interrupt. And that'll be the end of the Centaur. Moogie in the tree line, he does have a TP. We'll go ahead and head back to the base. They need creeps to break the backdoor protection.
Ooh, Illidan. Dangerous.
Sure is, but he's got support nearby. Beaver, he misclicked the Doom onto a Lincoln's. Moogie with the BKB. He's going to try to survive this fight, but Illidan is just outmanning him. Kaka and Moogie both down. Buybacks are being used if they've got it, but Sand King will be short. Megas are inbound, and Newbee looking to make the final hold of the game. KP back alive, ultimate up in 10, but here's the setup onto Luna. Moogie just out of options and out of HP. It's a dieback for the Moonrider, and Spirit have taken game 1 of this best of 3.
Woo! All right, 47 minutes, but they get it done.
Wow.
Well, I would say...
is chaotic the right word for that game? Because that is the only word I can think of to summarize it.
It was a little chaotic, yeah.
A little chaotic. Did you see those mid-game team fights? What, are you blind?
There's chaotic offering, I would say.
Aha.
Let's, all right, I want to do a Team Spirit ranking in terms of heroes this game and who totally crushed. So can we all agree first Warlock? Most important,
I
probably.
think FNG, he hit a 5-hero chaotic offering.
Several times.
More than once. Yeah. I think that alone is kind of MVP status.
Yep. Second place, I'm going to have to go with, what, you're going with G because of the recovery? I was going to go with Illidan. I feel like from his start to the finish, maybe a shaky mid-game, I'd give it to the Weaver personally. Do you want to go Lesh?
Well,
because we can just skip the top 3. We can just, actually, we can skip the top 4 and just talk about Doom. Because Doom did not have a good game. That's all I was getting to with this.
Okay. Oh, you got to give some credit to Illidan for that item build. I think going Maelstrom first was very creative. It allowed him to put pressure on early and then just move into the Lincolns. Would have been a much different game if he had just gone Lincolns first. So that I would give you credit for. I think that wasn't an easy game for G. Let me put it another way. G made that game look pretty easy. And I think that is a testament to how well he played and how skilled he is at knowing the limitations of that glass cannon hero.
But the Doom.
It was a tough game for Beaver.
He had a real
12 and 18.
He had 3 Lincolns he had to play against.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. You Doom a couple of illusions.
He doomed illusions twice.
He died 12 times, but he's a support Doom with a blink dagger. He's just hopping in, and he's absorbing some damage.
He kind of did his job. Yeah. He really did. He was the annoying frontliner.
It wasn't pretty.
He forced Newbee to react to him, though. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, sure, some of those Dooms were missed. Some of them were on Lincolns. And
how many of those chaotic offerings were on top of Doom at the same time?
Exactly.
Because he got in there.
Well, but do you think they wanted to buy that many Lincolns? I don't think so, right?
I don't think
they had to. So just by nature of that, Beaver still had a really big impact.
The support Doom, ladies and gentlemen.
So, yeah. Well, I'll give Beaver the honorable mention award for that game. That was
He's the 6th man in a 5-man team.
Well, boys and girls, we're going to have a break, then we're coming back for what could be the last game of the day. This is game 2 of this best of 3. We'll see if Newbee can tie it up and take us to an ace match, or if Spirit can take it 2-0 and secure themselves a spot in the upper bracket. Stick around because there's more Dota 2 coming your way after this.